Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing? My name is Brandon. I want to start today by telling you a story. The year was 2011. I had been in the development world for quite some time at that point, more years than I care to admit. But I was relatively new to community and attending conferences. And I had the opportunity to go to a conference in Nashville, Tennessee called DevLink. And there was an interesting thing at DevLink. There were a lot of sessions, a lot of cool stuff that I was learning, but there was this little thing off to the side that wasn't such a little thing called open spaces. And I wondered to myself, what is this thing where people are just sort of picking topics the day of the conference and sitting in a group of chairs in a circle and talking about life and talking about software and hardware and all the things that really drive them and drive their passion for technology and life itself. And over the course of the few days that I attended, I developed a love for what I think has become in a lot of conferences one of the most impactful, one of the most meaningful experiences that you can have in a conference setting. One of the best ways that you can take the knowledge that you developed in the presentations that are given by some of the awesome speakers that we have here, and then extend that to build knowledge and build community among your peers. So as I get started today, I'd like to ask a question. And those of you that aren't raising your hands, look around and see those that are. So raise your hand if you've ever attended a conference with open spaces before. I know many of you are many timers at that conference. Okay, put them back down. Now, raise your hand if open spaces were an open space or being a part of open spaces was your favorite part of that particular conference. Many hands come back up. And I want y'all to think about that over the course of the next few minutes. And then as I introduce the topic, I want you to think about the idea of heart and meaning. So there's a book called The Fourfold Way by Angeles Arin, and he says in there, the way of the healer or caretaker is to pay attention to what has heart and meaning. Paying attention opens us up to the human resources of love, gratitude, acknowledgement, and validation. The reason why I share this quote is because among the community of folks that facilitate open spaces, this phrase of heart and meaning has been used over and over again to describe what people bring to a circle when they have an open spaces session. So I want to ask you over the next couple of minutes to think to yourself, ask yourself the question, what has heart and meaning for you? Why are you here? Even if you're just here to learn, you're here to learn from others. You're here to deepen your experience. But if you're here to build community, how do you want that community to be built? What do you want that community to look like? What drives your passion? So I want to spend a couple of minutes introducing this idea of open spaces. Now, put that over there. Open Spaces was a format created by Harrison Owen in 1985. It's been around for quite a while. And he had attended conferences, and he observed that, in his opinion, some of the best things that he experienced at a conference were the coffee breaks. So he decided to create an entire conference of coffee breaks. The idea was that those dynamic conversations, sometimes one-on-one, sometimes many-to-many, that would take place between the sessions were the things that he would take the most out of when he left the conference. And so he decided to start this format. And it has grown. This idea of creating a self-organizing meeting has grown and replicated across conferences in software and in other industries as well. And open spaces matter. You may ask yourself, that's great. And I love the idea that we have this as part of a conference. But we also have all of these great, wonderful sessions. And the open spaces don't exist to detract from that. The reason open spaces matter is because we have a wonderful lineup of content, but the organizers know that they can't put on a schedule planned in advance all the things that matter to you. And what you're passionate about and what give you heart and meaning matters and cannot be encompassed on a schedule that's planned in advance. And so Clark and Carrie and the rest of the team have set out year after year to make this part of the DNA of that conference. That there is an entire concurrent track at this conference that's dedicated to us coming together and talking about what gives us heart and meaning, what drives our passion. So there's a couple of rules for open space. It's a very free-flowing format, but there are a few principles and one law that really make this whole idea work. And so please be aware of these things as you're thinking about open spaces and over the course of the next couple of days. Those principles are, whoever comes is the right people. If you convene an open space session and there's only 2 people in the circle, that was the group that needed to have the conversation. If you convene a session and you have to pull chairs from other spaces in order to accommodate everybody, that was the session you were supposed to have. Those are the right people. Whatever happens is the only thing that could have happened, right? And then whenever it starts is the right time. Now, this is important. With open spaces, we are going to assign the topics that you all choose to places, to days and times on the schedule. But it's important to remember and to think about as a convener, when you sit down and you put your idea on a schedule, to know that if you're there by yourself for 5 minutes, that's okay, because it may be minute 6 where the circle fills up. We're all busy, we're having dynamic conversations at the conference. It may take a few minutes for your session to start, and that's okay. Stay there, wait for it. The right people will come when the time is right. And then finally, when it's over, it's over. Now again, we have a schedule that we're building, and there are going to be circles assigned for each one of those sessions. But if your conversation is still going and your time is up, feel free to move it to the other part of the room. We have a bunch of tables and other free areas to have conversation throughout the space, but in the open spaces room, continue that conversation. Let the next group sit and start their session, but you can continue that anywhere. Don't let it end just because the time is up. And there's one law, I'll come back to this in a second, but it's referred to as the law of 2 feet. Now, what we're doing now is referred to as opening the circle. When we open the circle, I'm basically saying here as your facilitator, we are opening the marketplace of ideas. This is the opportunity for you to put your mark on this conference by contributing your ideas to the schedule. So we are opening the circle and saying, this is the time to be thinking about what matters and what you want to add. And again, I want you to think about that. And I want to underscore this idea of heart and meaning. This is not meant to be only a section of the conference where you talk about technical topics. Please bring those topics. But if you want to talk about Legos or electronics, or if you want to talk about Doctor Who, we had a great Doctor Who session last year here. It was fantastic. It was one of my favorites. We talk about whatever you want, whatever you're passionate about, because again, it is the whole you, the person that you are, represents more than just your job, your career, your hobbies. All those things matter, and we want to talk about those at this conference. So let's fill the wall with the things that have heart and meaning for you. If you want to build robots with kids, let's build robots in that room. That was fantastic. We did that. But some of the things that I really enjoyed last year were those kinds of dynamic, free-flowing conversations where we talked about building your own CNC mills at home using equipment. Using all kinds of really cool stuff, bringing power supplies and hooking machines up right there on the spot, having a great conversation about women in technology in the Midwest and how we as a community can help foster getting more women in technology careers in general. Let's continue to have those conversations. So as we build the schedule, what's going to happen right now is I'm going to encourage you when we formally open the circle is to line up along here on the side. We've got 3 of the guys over, you guys raise your hands, we've got 3 of the guys over here that are waiting. You're going to line up over on this side. You're going to grab a Post-it note, and I want you to write down your topic, what you want to talk about, and your name. And then you're going to grab a mic for one of the guys, and you're going to share your name briefly, and share your name briefly, yes, but share your idea briefly and your name, and then you're going to work with the guys to put your idea on the schedule where it sees, where you think it makes the most sense. And this is, of course, based on your schedule. So there are a couple of rules for conveners. You don't have to be an expert to convene a session. Some of my favorite sessions that I've ever attended are ones where someone who has a question for other experts puts a session on and says, please come teach me this thing. Please share with me your opinions and help me understand this topic better. Feel free to do that. If you're a speaker and you want to have an open space session to do extended Q&A and discussion after your session slot, do that. Those are great sessions as well. Continue the conversation. But as a convener, as a person who puts a Post-it on the schedule, we ask that you show up for your session on time. Please be the one that is there on time. Do not leave until your session is done. The law of 2 feet does not apply to conveners. We'll get to that in a second. And then please have you or someone else in the group that's willing take notes during the session. We have easels up. at every single one of these circles. Take notes so that these ideas can persist and people can peruse the sessions that they're not able to make and find out what people are talking about. And then post your notes on the wall after the session. We have a whole far wall that we want to fill again like we did last year with all the sessions and topics that you all are talking about. Now finally, the law of 2 feet. I'll get back to that again. Again, this is a free-flowing format, and we want you not only as a convener, but as an attendee to find your heart and meaning in these open spaces. So feel free to use the law of 2 feet. Simply put, if at any time you find yourself in any situation where you are neither learning nor contributing, use your 2 feet and move to someplace more to your liking. What that means is that if you're sit down in a session and it's not going the way that you thought it would, you can get up and go to another open space. You can get up and go to a session. We expect that as a community doing these open spaces together, that you don't have to stay the whole time. That also means it's okay to be late. It's okay to sit down 15 or 20 minutes in. You're still going to get value out of the conversation. So now, let's build that schedule. So now is the time. So again, if you've got an idea, head up here. Let's grab a Post-it note, grab a mic, and let's start building out this schedule.
Hi, my name is David Pine. My circle idea is Dev Community Stories. So come share any story that you've experienced as being a part of the developer community. If you have questions about it, if you want to learn more, if you want to hear from others, I encourage you to check out my circle.
Cool.
Hey everybody, I'm Keith Casey. I'm not pitching for myself. My wife is actually wrangling our toddlers right now. She wants to do a session tomorrow at 12:15 called Homeschooling 101, how to get started, how to choose curriculum, all those sorts of things, regardless of age. So homeschooled our now almost 16-year-old, our almost 4-year-old, and our 1.5-year-old, which isn't really school. But if you want to learn how to get started, tomorrow at 12:15.
Awesome.
My name is Kevin Bowles. I've got a session at 1 o'clock called Know What Your Code is Doing to SQL Server. And we'll be talking hopefully shortly after that about SQL Server performance and performance tuning.
Hi, I'm Ross Larson. Last year I did a talk on imposter syndrome, and I'm not doing it this year, but Gabby is. And I'm going to be doing an imposter syndrome support group immediately following that session.
Awesome. That was a great session last year. Fantastic.
Hi, my name is Dan Wasmer. I'd like to talk to people who've used Cloud Foundry so I can learn more about it.
Hi, David Dangerfield. I just gave a talk about Vue.js, a very basic one, and I'd like to continue in the Vue.js realm talking about Vuex, which is Vue.js's version of a Redux state store.
Hi there, I'm Riley Major. I'd like to talk about the data community in Minnesota. So if you're in Minnesota and are interested in data, especially the Microsoft platform, come on over and chat.
Hi, my name is Chris Weinert, and I'd like to talk to people who are interested in building an arcade machine. And if you know WPF, I wrote the front end for that arcade machine in WPF, and I could use some help because I don't know how to work some stuff. Thanks.
Hi, my name's Tammy. I'm starting to work in mobile design, usability, supporting so many devices, so anyone that's doing it and how they're doing it, that'd be helpful.
Robert Buddinghammer. I have a talk today on web performance at 2:30, and I'm doing an open space live website review, so if your performance isn't what you want, I'll sit down with you and walk through and try to see what we can do to make improvements. Okay, so I'm going to shoot for 4 o'clock today right after my session.
Hi, I'm Kabi Barron. I'm hoping there's others here that want to answer the question of where do requirements come from. So especially talking about UX research, UX software design. 4 o'clock today.
There you go.
Hey, my name is Kyle Vogt. Today, right after lunch at 1 o'clock, I'll be talking about first-person view racing drones and flying around a tiny one and probably annoying people.
Hi, my name is Jason Montag. I don't know if this is within the rules, but my 13-year-old son asked me to put this topic up, combining his two favorite things, classic arcades and dad jokes. So that's going to be on Tuesday.
Love it.
Hi, I'm Michael Perry. I am a software mathematician, and I would like to talk about papers we love, math papers that have influenced the way that we do software.
Very cool.
Hey there, I'm Kevin Miller, and last year I had a talk on going from W2 to being an independent dev, and this year I'd like to talk about being an independent dev. What's it like and all that. The other talk I'd like to do is building vision apps using machine learning and whatnot.
Hi, I'm Mercedes Bernard. I organize a meetup down in Chicago that's all around mentorship. So I'd like to have a conversation about code reviews and pairing as mentorship.
My name's Ben Brown, and I'd like to just have a discussion about startups. You know, we've got the technical side of things down, but how do you run everything outside of it? Hiring new people, making sure you're doing code reviews right, things like that. So.
All right, I'm Michael Fazio. We're going to be talking a little bit about building voice bots, in particular Alexa and the Google Assistant, but anything related to voice bots.
Hello, I'm Matt Fry. I have a talk tomorrow at 12:15 on how we're using DevOps principles at CUNY Mutual. I'd like to hear how do you do DevOps at 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Hello, I am Jared. I'm wanting to talk about ARM, which is Azure Resource Management. I'm just getting into it right now, and I just kind of want to talk through how everybody's using it, how they're managing it, and just how they're scaffolding it within their solutions. So, thanks. It'll be at 10:30 tomorrow.
Hey everyone, I'm Josh. I want to talk about static site generators and content management systems. So look out for that on Wednesday morning.
They'll pick it after I speak? Okay. Hi, I'm Kim Iverson. Whoa, that's really loud. And I'm going to hold a topic about attracting kids into computer science and IT because I'd like to retire someday.
Awesome.
Hey, I'm Michael Kaczynski. I have a talk at 1 o'clock today about our migration to AWS and Kubernetes, and I want to have a follow-up talk where I want to hear your Kubernetes war stories.
Hi, my name is Justin Beal. It's 4 a.m. Do you know what your service is doing? Come talk to me about observability.
Hi, my name is Juan Alvarez, and my topic is the work from home dilemma, how to collaborate virtually.
So I'm Jason Van Ruden. I'm looking to find out more about the Milwaukee area community and meetups. So if you want to find out more, if you've been to one or lead one, I'd like to talk and find out more. It'll be Monday today at 4.
There you go, you'll be next.
My name's Jeff Pearson. I'm running a topic on financial independence and retiring early. I ran one open session last year on the same topic and had a good turnout and hope to have a good one this year as well.
Hi, my name's Alan, and I want to talk about Power BI Tableau reporting systems. I made a website and released it on Thursday to the company, and it has not caught on fire yet. If yours has, please explain to me, or if you want to tell me how Tableau is way better, please come and talk to me.
Hi, I'm Ken Sampson. I was going to talk about how to build and program one of these guys. It's an IBM TJ bot. Nice. It's built using cardboard, laser printed, and it runs on a Raspberry Pi. So if you want to come and join me and we can explore it together, that'd be great. I'm going to meet later today at 5:15 after the sessions because I'm trying to go to most of the sessions. So hope you see you there.
My name is Derek Schweckel. Yep. I want to host something on hobby farming, so if anybody has one or does any hobby farming. I said this at the end of last year. I want to try to host this during the water park, so I'm not sure if that's going to go how we'll do that, but I'll be at the water park if anybody wants to talk about hobby farming.
Hi, I'm Josh, and I'd like to geek out for a while about 3D graphics, whether that's ray tracers, rasterizers, lighting techniques, or whatever. So come join me later.
Kevin can get you set up.
Hi, everybody. My name's Steve Hicks. So I have this idea for a conference talk that's stuck and I can't get anywhere with it. So I selfishly want to recruit people to help me get unstuck. And in exchange, I'll help other people get unstuck with whatever problems they have writing a conference talk right now. So it's called Let's Write Conference Talks Together, and I'm going to try for Wednesday afternoon.
Hi, I'm Tom McIntyre, and I'd like to have a discussion about what are we in software beating ourselves up for that we shouldn't be. Because as I listen to things here, I feel like there's maybe a long list of these things, such as not being clairvoyant and knowing needs ahead of time. So I'd like to see what kind of a list we can all come up with together and have a discussion about that.
Hi, I'm Sarah Pleiner. I'm tomorrow afternoon replacing big legacy systems in small pieces.
Hi, my name is Andy Lester, and I want to talk about the 90% of us who do not work at sexy startups out in Silicon Valley and the realities of life, and also to talk about how the stuff we do is as awesome as the Google and startup people like that.
Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Hannah, and if you haven't garnered from the first few moments, I'm a huge extrovert. And from my measly one experience in software engineering, I have found that my breed is not very common. So I would like to talk about how to integrate extroverts into a world that's made up of primarily of introverts, and kind of your experiences and ideas and things like that. So come join me.
What's up, what's up, what's up? My name is Ron Dagdag. I have a presentation this Wednesday at 1 p.m. about WebXR and augmented reality for the web. Feel free to join me this Wednesday at 1 p.m.
Cool.
Hey, I'm David Neal, and one of the talks that I've given at other conferences is public speaking without barfing on your shoes. If you're interested in being a speaker or knowing what it's like to get up in front of a bunch of strangers and get really nauseated and sick about doing that kind of thing, if you want to speak at a meetup or a conference and want to know what that's all about, let's get together and talk about it. Or we can talk about bacon or whatever else.
David, will there be bacon in your open space? Be bacon in your open space? In your open space, will there be bacon? Will there be bacon? We'll make it happen. I'll be there. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, name and topic?
Hi, everyone. My name is Jill Howler. I'm an executive coach, and I work with a lot of individuals in technology. I'm going to host an open spaces session just on career development and getting unstuck. I also have a session this afternoon on personal brand at 4 o'clock if you'd like to join me.
Hello, everyone. My name is Josh O'Rourke. I'm here with Extend Healthcare, and I am interested in meeting and learning anyone that has used Apache Airflow.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Brian McDonald. I'm an editor at the Pragmatic Bookshelf. We're a technical book publisher. I'd like to talk about technical book publishing. If you have an idea that you want to talk to an editor about, if you want to learn how this publishing thing works, or if you just want to know how we make the covers, then come and talk to us.
Cool. That's fine.
Hi, I'm Brian Hogan, and I want to meet up with a bunch of people who like to make music on computers. We can have some conversations about mixing, mastering, recording, what software we use, and maybe how to even get it released to all the music stores.
Hi, my name is Jess Stadola, and I want to talk to you about mentoring through pair programming to quickly bring your junior developers up to speed.
Sue Heupel. I've been a developer for a few years. I have a topic at 4 o'clock today. Find out if there's any mainframers out there and what you guys are doing. So I might be the only one in my circle. I don't know.
Hey, David Dangerfield again. Myself and my 18-year-old daughter, who is here, would like to talk about rock climbing, and she is the expert. So rock climbing in gyms, rock climbing on real rocks, competing, all that.
Hi, Richard. Hi, Jennifer.
Hey, Brandon.
Jennifer and I were standing over there peaceably talking about our favorite food dishes. And
Yeah,
said,
chimichurri.
Yeah, like chimichurri. And said, why aren't we making that an open space? Because everybody likes food.
So we're going to talk about food in our open space session.
Yeah. And I don't know if you know, but I make these shows called Geek Outs. Anybody know what the Geek Outs are?
Yeah.
All right. If you would like me to talk about any geek out, let me know and we'll put it up on the board.
But also food.
But food. Mostly food.
Food.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Hi, I'm Gabby. I'll be giving a talk tomorrow on imposter syndrome and joining Ross for that circle, but I'd also like to talk about starting your own side project, lighting the fire, and drawing the proverbial owl, and kind of methods for how to accomplish that.
Hello, my name is Aaron Kolbeck. I've been doing long form improv in Milwaukee for about 4 years, and was wondering if I was going to have a open improv session where people can come and kind of learn some of the rules and things you do to do improv, and then just have a jam. So I don't know when, but it'll be up here.
Hi, I'm Corey House, and I'd like to do an open space session on going independent / freelancing / moonlighting, whatever you want to take there, but the idea of being more independent, making either money on the side or going full-time independent, lessons I've learned over, 20 years or so of doing so, and I want to hear from you. Corey House, good to see you, hopefully.
Hi everybody, I'm Bruce Abernathy. I'm turning 50 this year, and I've been coding for about 40 of those years, and I've tried other things like management, and they just didn't work out for either of us. So call it the midlife crisis, call it coding for a lifetime. How do you finish well and finish, in the world of coding? So others going through that, considering it, let's talk. So.
Awesome. So I love that. That is a fantastic lineup, and I'm really excited to see what y'all are bringing to the open space circles this year. Like I mentioned earlier, we're going to move these easels over into the open space room. Those first open spaces, if we have any on the schedule, will start here in about 15 minutes. They'll go from 1 o'clock the rest of the day today, all day tomorrow, and all day Wednesday. And you can add topics at any time. If you have something you want to talk about in an hour, add it to the schedule. You can do that at any point for the next couple of days. And again, I'm really excited over the next couple of days and the dynamic conversations that are going to take place. And I'm very excited to learn about what has heart and meaning to you. So thank you all for being here today.